Welcome my channel. Today we're watching something truly special. A craftsman doesn't just carve a wooden torchlight for looks. He builds a fully working, real functioning torch entirely out of wood. The video opens with him holding a small metal torch in one hand and a tall wooden log in the other, comparing the two carefully to plan out the exact size and proportions he'll need for the wooden version. He then holds the actual metal torch up directly against the log, measuring the length precisely before making any cuts, getting the scale exactly right from the very start. Sitting outdoors, he begins chopping and splitting the log by hand with a large blade, working the wood down section by section. The bark peels away in long strips, revealing the clean, pale timber underneath, while the metal reference torch stands propped on a small stump nearby throughout the process. Once the block is fully trimmed and rounded, he carries it into his workshop and mounts it securely onto the wood lathe, once again holding the metal torch beside it for a final size check before switching on the machine. As the lathe spins the block rapidly, he brings his cutting tool to the surface, and shavings fly off in thick curls. The rough block quickly transforms into a smooth cylinder. Working carefully, he begins shaping the head end first, cutting a distinct narrow step that flares outward into a wide, bell-like front, matching the reflector head shape of the metal torch almost exactly. Fine ridge lines and a rounded lip take form right where the real torch's screw thread markings would be. He then shifts his attention to the base, sculpting a rounded knob shape, mirroring the push-button switch found at the bottom of the original torch. With the outer shape complete, he switches tools and begins hollowing out the interior of the head, carving a deep circular cavity where the light components will eventually sit. He works the same hollowing process into the base end, creating an open cavity for the wiring and battery components. Once the shaping is done, he burns a series of fine, evenly spaced black rings into the wood using a taut length of wire held against the spinning surface, a traditional decorative technique that leaves crisp, dark lines without any paint appearing on both the head and base sections. He then sands the entire piece by hand, smoothing every curve and ridge until the surface feels silky, before giving it a light polish that brings out a warm, natural glow in the wood grain. Here's where the project goes beyond simple wood turning. He separates the headpiece from the main body, revealing that it's designed to twist on and off, just like a real torch cap. Sitting back down, he begins wiring in genuine electronic components, running thin wires down through the hollow body, connecting them into a small internal switch and battery setup fitted inside the base. He then fits a small silver reflector cone and a tiny LED bulb into the hollowed-out head section, gluing them carefully into place. A clear plastic lens cover is fitted over the top, sealing the light assembly exactly like a real torch's front glass. With everything wired and assembled, he twists the head back onto the body, checking the fit one final time on the lathe before giving it a last light trim. And then comes the standout moment. He presses the switch, and the wooden torch actually lights up, a genuine bright white beam shining out from the reflector, exactly like a real flashlight. In the closing shot, he smiles proudly, gives a thumbs up, and holds up the finished wooden torch, fully functional, beautifully finished, and built entirely by hand from a single raw log of wood. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this incredible woodworking, please like, share, and subscribe for more amazing woodworking videos.